brothers and sisters. Johnny Boombad here, and you're bodybuilding with Johnny Boombad, getting jacked and ripped no matter what. Uh, this isn't just a channel about a bodybuilder getting jacked and saying, "Look at me, look at how jacked I am, look at what I eat every day. How do I get so big? How do I get so huge?" Um, like I'm some, uh, you know, bodybuilder up there on the top of the ladder, whatever that means. But this channel is for anyone out there that uh, needs to stay on their game with bodybuilding, no matter what. And I'm talking, the people out there, and you know who you are, that don't always get the most favorable circumstances, haven't been handed a silver spoon, hadn't haven't had their lives handed to them on a gold platter, but had to work extremely hard uh, to get by every single day, uh, you know, with, middle lower class, in the middle lower class range of, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, and budgeting your money, driving a used vehicle, you know, renting an apartment, you know, and not that it's like, oh, cry me a river, look at me, but it's the exact opposite of these bodybuilders that have been handed their life over on a gold platter, and they seem to have it all. They seem to have everything, and you know what? It's not always like that for everybody, uh, and it doesn't mean you're a good person or a bad person. You know, it's the way life is. You have your upper class, your middle class, your middle lower class, and you have your lower class, and then you got your homeless. So, uh, it comes down to being able to do it, being able to get jacked and ripped under any circumstance. And the reason why I make these videos is because that's how my life's been. And you can go back to my videos since day one, and you'll see that I've pulled through all kinds of setbacks. And I'm not trying to give you some lavish lifestyle of this arrogant bodybuilder that has got a million people liking them, and all famous, because I mean, let's face it, most of us that are working hard and trying to pay bills, um, you know, we need somebody that we can relate to and say, hey, you know what? If you're that uh, lower middle class, and you can make it happen, you can still get jacked and ripped. You don't need to be someone famous. You don't need to be up on stage. The bodybuilding lifestyle is for everybody. And I mentioned this in a video before. Uh, Bodybuilders come in all shapes and sizes. Bodybuilding is infinity on the different avenues of types of training and strategies and techniques and diets. So, when somebody says, this is what you got to do to get big, no. The beauty about bodybuilding is there's so many ways, so many avenues to get there. Um, and same with life. I mean, you don't always have to get to a certain level by achieving a material status with lots of money and lots of fancy stuff. Um, Bodybuilding never used to be like that. You go back to the 60s, 70s, when back in the surfer days where, surfers were very similar to bodybuilders. They weren't materialistic. A lot of them didn't want to work full-time jobs all the time and didn't want to have a lot of heavy burdens hanging over them. And because they didn't want to get involved in too many other things that would distract them from the simple lifestyle of bodybuilding. And so if that meant that they had to be minimalistic and live in a beach hut on the side of the beach or live out of their van so they can enjoy going surfing every day, that's what they did. Same with bodybuilders. They loved to spend their days recovering and doing meal prep and laying out on the beach or wherever and sun tanning and training and have a little bit of money for gear and getting jacked and the heavy clanging of the iron plates and it's there's no certain picture of what a bodybuilder can look like these days. There's a stigma, it seems, on social media, and you can probably see it if you're like me. You don't like to follow the fancy guys anymore. You don't like to. It's nice to see a flipping guy that's getting jacked and he's living a regular life and he's training in his basement or in a little apartment or and he's able to make crazy outstanding results just as much as a bodybuilder. This certain bodybuilder image that seems to get all the popularity is the exact opposite of what I'm talking about. And so when I do my videos, it's all about going through these life circumstances and survival tactics and rationing food and juggling bills. And Rich Piana used to say, "Do whatever it takes," and he was right. And so you do whatever it takes. And the number one thing that I always include is having faith. And I'm a true testimony to having faith because now, I'm in a position now where I got a new job, different than my other new job after being on unemployment insurance for about 10 months, struggling to look for a job, almost ending up homeless, and then having to move out of my bachelor suite apartment into a shared accommodation to where now I'm sharing a big house with a couple other people. Old man lives down the end of the hall. This student that is a couple doors down from me, and we all have locks on our doors in the big kitchen, and it's quiet, it's beautiful, it's a nice big old house in a nice neighborhood. And here I am, and I got the hell out of my other apartment. I booked it over here. I'm only paying $500 a month now, so I'm saving like $700 a month, $800 a month. And the job I did get when I moved in here was custodian at a school, and the owner of the cleaning company came and talked to me while I was just starting my shift, and she says, "Sorry," she's like, "I'm letting you go." And I said, why? And she goes, I just find you're not a good fit. That's a big thing that they're saying now. They have no reason for firing you. Like I was doing circles around that school with my custodian work. I was coming to work on time, but I later found out that she was a feminist. Her videos promoting her company, cleaning company, was all women, and it was all other women custodians. And she only wanted me to for the hard stuff like running the Zamboni, cleaning the floors, because none of the women wanted to do that. Well, push comes to shove, no, you know, uh, I'm a big bodybuilder, built bearded guy, and I'm a Christian, and I'm not allowed to talk Christianity to anybody at work there, and yeah, so I wasn't a good fit. So I prayed to the Lord. I said, Lord, I want to work hard. I'm a hard worker. I'm like, just put me somewhere where I fit in, to where I'm around other people, that are like normal, like just hardworking lower middle class people, don't think their shit doesn't stink, and not walking around following all these policies and trying to be something weird, that weird shit. And so now, uh, I got a job at a hotel. I've did hotel work before. I'm at this, you know, nice hotel. I'm making more money. I'm working full time now, and I even got a raise after my first week. Um, and Here I am. My whole life circumstances changed. My life's changed. My residence changed. My job changed, and throughout it all, I kept training. You know, the cortisol levels may have went up, from stress, and I was exhausted, and I battled it out because I didn't know what was going on, if I was losing size or if I was what was going on. Um, but now that I'm all through that and I'm settled down, I got I got more money now than I know what to do with. And I just spent like $500 this last 4 days getting stuff that I need, that I couldn't get before because I was always scrimping. My cupboards. I got an abundance of food in my cupboards. I can buy any type of food that I want. Um, I I got money to fix my truck, to do some cosmetic work on my truck. To tune it up. I got uh, I got money for supplements. I ordered a bunch of awesome supplements off Amazon, and vitamins and all that stuff. So this is the first time in a long time that I'm training with a full fledged arsenal of stuff that's going to help me uh, improve my bodybuilding. The vitamins, the supplements, uh, the gear, um, the change in lifestyle, everything. So this is a whole new uh, era now for me. And this is what I'm announcing here uh, tonight, is that you're going to see a lot of gains being put on, because like I said, I stayed consistent through the hard times, and now that I'm through all that uncertainty, I'm stable. I got money. I can get the stuff I need. You know, boom. I got a strategy, and you can see, you know, it's already coming together, because I've been eating like 7, 8, 9 meals a day. I've been eating around the clock. I've been getting out of bed in the middle of the night, eating, going back to sleep. And plus I'm working my ass off. I'm running around a hotel working hours a day. So I'm getting leaner. I'm getting bigger. And, you know, there was a guy that made a comment. He obviously hasn't watched any of my videos. said that I have no reason to make a video, that my biceps are laughable, and that blah, 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 blah. Just shooting garbage out of his mouth. You know, I've been training for since I was 15 years old. I'm 50 years old. And thing is, I've had setbacks. I've been 260 pounds. I've been 230 pounds. I've been 240. I've been 225. I got real sick. I was down to as low as 150. 150. Built myself back up to 185, back up to 190. You know, different levels of body fat, different strength levels. You know, and so for a guy to make a comment on you on one video that he's watched, when he has or on you when he has no idea what your bodybuilding journey has been, he doesn't have a clue. A guy could be you know, maybe lost 20 pounds because of a certain circumstance. Doesn't mean he's not a bodybuilder. Just means he had a little bit of a setback, some stress, you know, maybe couldn't afford as much food, whatever. This is what my videos are all about. We keep getting back up, and we keep getting more jacked and ripped no matter what. And then those people, if they stick around long enough and they watch you, like the guy that made a comment on my video, you watched my videos from when I started in van life to where I am now, you're going to want to keep your mouth shut, because then you can actually see what I've did and what I've gone through and who I am, instead of just running your mouth and making some stupid comment based on your own jealousy and your own personal insecurities. All of my subscribers, all the people that make comments to me are my beautiful brothers in Christ, and they're supportive, and I love you. And for anybody that's watching now, that tunes in, this is a brotherhood, a brother and sisterhood, where we unite, we stay strong, and we fight against the stuff going on in the world. You know, I'm a freedom fighter. I don't got no vaccine. I didn't get no vaccine. I'm in Alberta, and Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We got some convoys coming up here, protests against our government, our liberal government, Carney. And you know, wherever you are in the world, everybody's going through a lot of crazy times right now. It's end times, you know. So how many bodybuilders consider that? How many bodybuilders talk about that on their video? This is real shit. So, you know, it's not just about, look at me, I'm a bodybuilder, look how big I am. No, there's some real shit going on in this video. I talk about real stuff going on. You want to keep it real, and you want to keep awake of what's going on in this world, and you want to keep your faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, and you want to keep your game tight and continue on with endurance while the other ones are going to drop out. You want to be here with me, the brotherhood, you know? Peace.